this lesson we're going to learn how we can actually view our bump and normal maps within the viewport. The first thing that we want to do is select on the object that you would like to see with the normal map or the bump map displayed. Views, show material in viewport as. There are 4 settings within this location: the standard display with maps, hardware display, and hardware display with maps. In order to see your normal maps and bump maps displayed in the viewport, you are going to need to use a hardware display option. However, these particular settings in this location are to view all objects within your scene with the hardware display, and that will slow down your productivity considerably, so I would suggest you not do that. In this case, I'm going to show you how to individually select objects within your scene to apply that feature to. So we want to make sure that standard display with maps is turned on in this location, and as you can see, our trees are smooth now. The material that's needed for displaying bump and normal maps within your viewport is called architectural and design. So to select on a default material, I'm going to first use my eyedropper to pick up the current materials that are on my object, and they will come in as a multi-sub object. So on the trunk of the tree, I want to show you that this is where I have the architectural and design material. So again, if I use this to go to parent, I can see the top parameters. They are grouped here, all of the materials that I currently have on this object, leaves being separate, husks another texture and material, and the trunk having the bump and the normal map on it. So this is really the only one that I want to apply that to, and I can, if I have a normal bitmap or another type of map currently in that location, I can simply click on that and go find my mental ray architectural and design material, click OK, and then what you want to do is apply your map. Scroll down to special purpose maps. Under bump, click on none, and you can find your normal map or bitmap. In this case, I'm going to show you my how to see a bump map in there first by selecting on my texture, and once that's applied, you can come down here to I'm going to parent. I'm going to select on my special purpose maps option bump, and right beside that you can dial up the strength on that. Now, in order to actually see the influence on that object, I'm going to need to apply a hardware shading option to this object or to this material only. And the way to do that is where we typically click on Show Standard Map in Viewport to see our map show up in our viewport. You're going to click and hold, and you'll see a flyout window that has 2 options. This is your standard option that's selected currently. Right next to it is a more dim version of that icon, and that is where you can select on your hardware rendering option. So once I do that, you can see now that it has changed the appearance of this object, and I'm going to go ahead and dial that up a little bit more. And alright, now that our viewport has finally updated, it takes a little bit for that image to update apparently. So now I want to show you how to view your normal map. So in the same place that we put our tree trunk texture to view it as a bump map, we are going to replace that now with the normal map. So in special purposes maps, the bump location of the Architectural and Design Mental Ray material. We're going to click on that. Right up here where it says bitmap, we're going to choose a normal map from the list. We're going to discard old map, and now we're going to, under normal, we're going to click none and find our normal map. Allow us to do that. Here we go. There's our normal map. Try this again. Let's keep old map. Alright, here we go. Now you can see that we have normal map, or normal bump, with the parameters. There you saw how long it takes to update that actually. So this is what we want to see where we're placing our normal map. We want the parameters of the normal bump. We can use the go to parent to view. Let's update. Here we go. I'm going to update that more quickly. But again, as you begin to use these various viewport rendering features, you will see considerable slowdown in your workflow. So you want to minimize that as much as possible, or view it and then go back to standard shading to do your work. So you can see now that this is updated. You get the normal map in the bump location of special purpose maps, and you can see the effect of that within the viewport. And you have your tree trunk texture applied under general maps, diffuse color. And now you can go ahead and continue to modify your settings to your liking. And what a great feature to be able to actually see preview your normal maps within your viewport.